Those goddamn selfish 13-year-old girls. Us bodybuilders over here are struggling and they're giving testosterone to 13-year-old girls. The humanity, the injustice in this world, I tell you. Again, now for a change, I'm actually the one who brought you something. And it's, of course, the cliche campus reaction video, because who doesn't love a good campus reaction video on YouTube, you know?
I mean, I'm sad that stuff like this didn't happen at our campus.
Yeah.
I would have had so much fucking fun talking to people.
You know what the thing is? Like, we were the crackheads on our campus.
True.
Like,
true. No, we were the homeless at our campus. We slept on the fucking statue and everything.
Best naps ever. Best naps ever. Anyways, let's go on.
So I have a question for you. Let's take the example of a child who has maybe 3 other coexisting mental health comorbidities. Maybe this child has autism, maybe they have depression, anxiety, maybe they've been sexually abused. Maybe there's an eating disorder.
Being sexually abused isn't technically like a mental disorder, but it can lead to mental disorders.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean...
I guess you're just like throwing shit out.
Listen, if you're talking to people, and most of the time it's unscripted,
yeah,
you say stuff that you thought of saying in a different way, so I'll give him a pass. Like, it most of the time it leads to some disorders, most of the time.
Fumbles didn't happen in public speeches.
Yeah.
This is the case for a lot of these kids who show up to the gender clinics. Do you think it's appropriate that we go straight away to blocking their puberty when they have these other things going on? Or to hormones as well? Because these kids are getting cross-sex hormones oftentimes on their very first appointments. And even as young as 13. It does depend on the doctor and the jurisdiction and everything, but they're giving testosterone to 13-year-old girls all over the country. Should we do that, or should we be first looking into other mental health comorbidities?
I love those goddamn selfish 13-year-old girls. Us bodybuilders over here are struggling and they're giving testosterone to 13-year-old girls. The humanity, the injustice in this world, I tell you.
I mean, you know that you can just identify
as a 13-year-old girl.
They accept everything nowadays.
I mean, it's gonna be a bit hard to pass with this beard, you know. I know at least some 13-year-olds and they don't look like this.
Are they gonna judge you by your appearance? How dare they? How dare they judge? You cannot tell me this is not a 13-year-old girl.
Yes. What?
This is.
Don't you know what a 13-year-old girl looks like? You bigot.
Get closer so they can have a closer look.
Yeah, this is what a strong, independent 13-year-old girl looks like with 24 years of experience.
No, but the thing is, I know we're joking about this, but it's kind of scary how most people can identify as whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
And this is gonna sound bigoted, haha, I don't give a shit. But there's things that you cannot identify as, just like you can't identify as a 13-year-old girl.
Watch me.
Or how the topic of the video, like I assume, is talking about changing an undeveloped child based on something they either probably seen on TikTok and have no idea what they're talking about, or the parent just want to do it. Because it's mostly the parents who force the children into the sex changes, the hormone blockers and stuff like that. So it's kind of scary.
You know what
it's honestly kind of scary.
You know what we've forgotten in like recent years with children? Like, I only say children, it's like people until they just like 20 something, where you want to try new shit.
Yeah.
Like, you constantly want to try new shit in life to see, okay, does this work? Well, I like this. And the reaction of, oh, I want to see how it is to be like the other gender, or the other sex. And instead of like discussing about it, they're like, well, time to go to the doctors, time to give you hormones. Like, that's too extreme a reaction.
It is. And it's funny that you mentioned this, because now I'm rethinking my childhood.
Yeah.
Like, as a child, whenever I went to my cousin who's a female, we used to play with dolls, right? Because that's the toys she had.
Yeah.
If I was born in this modern era, and if I did that now, some parents, I'm not saying all, of course it's not all, but some parents would be like, oh, well, he's playing with dolls, maybe he's more feminine. Yeah. Let's try and change that, you know? Like, that's a fucked up concept. It's a child playing with toys. Doesn't matter what kind of toys it is. Because I'm sure most of you have seen the video. I know for a fact that you have seen the video of an 8-year-old kid that the mother forces to change from man to girl. Oh, yeah. Like, from boy to girl.
Yeah.
Like, just because he played with toys, with female toys, like, come on, dude. But yeah, let's just continue with this shit show, I guess.
To see your studies on that.
Yeah. Okay.
I would love, if you can show me that children all across the world are being...
Absolutely. I can send you whatever you would like. If you want to give me your email, or you can reach out to me through Twitter.
Hi, do you have any idea that recording...
It's not all around the world.
Yeah.
In the Middle East, this shit doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So just a quick
She's
comment.
rather than that. Like, it's not all
She's
over the
right.
world.
She's right about that.
In the US, though, yeah, and a lot
it
of
is,
states.
It is. And a lot of Western countries as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, like all around the world, nah.
Yeah.
The Western Hemisphere,
Yeah.
it's sad.
And Thailand.
Yeah, true.
people in a public area, it puts a lot of people at risk. You realize there are a lot of students here who might not want their family to be able to see
They don't
them.
have to talk to us.
You are recording us.
Problem solved. It's that easy. You have a problem with something, don't engage with that thing.
It's a public property.
Yeah.
You can record if you want to. The fuck? The fuck? Some people and their entitlement.
In a public area.
Coming up, you're literally in the shot.
With
That
their
is
consent,
the
yeah.
EMU, that is the union,
Yeah.
that is the student union.
All
You're
right.
also going to get people on video who do not necessarily want to be on video. I am a lot more
If
comfortable.
you guys don't want to have a conversation
I
on
am
camera or
having a
anything, we don't need to have the
conversation with you.
conversation.
I'm a lot more comfortable being on video because I'm already known in the community for doing stuff. There are videos of me out there. I don't particularly care. However, there are people that you are catching on video that
right.
might not want to be.
And they don't need to hop in our video
Yeah,
and
they
talk
don't,
to
they
us.
don't, no one's forced
are
to
not
talk.
stopping the video with all.
Did you notice the
Joker. Yep. Like, the moment you leaned in a bit closer, I was like, is he gonna mention about the guy with the clown face paint?
Like, literally, most of the students just pass them by.
Yeah.
They don't want to be in the video. They just pass them by. Like,
The normal reaction.
you chose to be in the video. Like, the girl chose to come up to them and complain about being in a video.
Yeah.
Just don't say anything and move on. Like, there's been.
That's impossible for a lot of people.
Do you know what this reminds me of? Like, imagine the news reporter standing outside of a public park or something, and you just pass by and you're like, wait, you can't record here? I don't want to be in the video. You can't record here. Like, dude, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Have you asked every single
All right.
one of these
Here's
people in the
the
background?
situation.
If they
Do you want to have a conversation, or
Can
are
I
we just
address
trying to
that quickly?
shut down the conversation?
Let me just address that.
can have a conversation
So
without being on
this is a
video.
public space, and there is no expectation of privacy in a public space. I understand that you
hold
don't
on.
like it. I understand you don't like it, but guess what? That's okay. You don't have to like
So
it.
you say that people who could possibly be harassed
Who's
by
harassing anybody?
you realize people here
What is Mr. Mime doing? Legit, Mr. Mime should like. Mime! Mime! What the fuck is he doing, Mr. Mime shit?
It's funny how for a generation
Oh.
that can't take 2 minutes away from their phone, the moment someone records something they don't agree with and they know that they don't have solid like foundation
Yeah.
for their beliefs, they just start being like, dude, if you don't agree with them, stand by next to them and tell them why you think they're wrong. Simple as that. Simple as that.
It is. To you. Not to a lot of them. No.
I'm sorry, you think that people no one in this entire university has maybe a
Why is he doing like Tianqin Han's like a tri-beam attack, what's it called? It's legit, he's doing the tri-beam attack.
Hey, you gotta go through all the classics. First Pokemon, now Dragon Ball, next thing he might do
Bleach
Avatar.
or Naruto, whatever.
restraining order, has people who don't want to see.
We're wasting our time talking about this
How
right
did
now.
the conversation go? We're having a conversation with you. How did it go to filming? Why are you taking it off of the subject? She was just talking.
I don't care.
You know what I'm laughing about? Like, the old guy, he can be forgiven. He isn't used to like the rhetoric we use nowadays. He misgenders the person who's like, she's just talking. It was just a sudden pause, like, she? And in the moment, the voice played in my head. It was at that moment he realized he'd fucked up. And they had to cut. Jesus.
I mean,
Like, they're missing from a conversation. I still think they're arguing in the background.
the thing is with pronouns. Okay, sure, you have your own pronouns you identify as, but if you don't tell someone what your pronouns are, and they go by your physical appearance,
Yeah.
don't be mad at them.
Yeah.
You haven't told them your pronouns, so how the hell should he know that she is not a she.
Yeah.
Like, simple now, dude. A lot of issues in the world could be solved if people put their emotions away for one moment. Like, I know that we're emotional people, but still, like creatures, but still, for one moment, try to understand where the other person is coming from. How can he doesn't have
Practice
magical
today is to
beings
simply
that tell
affirm a
him
child. If a girl says
what
she's
someone's
really a boy on
identity
the
is.
inside,
Like,
whatever that means.
just tell him.
They go to these
You don't
gender-
have to be passive aggressive. She? Like, dude.
clinics, these children's hospitals, and they're given a drug. It's never been approved for this purpose, but it stops their bodies going into puberty. It actually stops girls from producing estrogen and boys from producing testosterone. So without those hormones, their natural secondary sex characteristics don't develop. So girls' breasts won't grow, boys' penises don't grow, girls' hips don't get wider. They're losing bone density when their bones should be getting stronger. Then they're given the opposite sex's hormones. So girls get testosterone, they grow beards, they get a deep voice. That causes vaginal and uterine atrophy, they have to get hysterectomies. These drugs and hormones combined are sterilizing kids, causing permanent, irreversible damage that they cannot undo.
And I'm going to go back to this top part right here. We're talking about children here.
Yeah.
All right.
It doesn't matter what you think. We're going to keep filming. So if you're unhappy about it, that's okay. You can be unhappy.
I'm
Thank
just
you.
saying, you want to talk about children can't consent to this, do this. You think that we can't consent
okay,
to...
hey,
Yeah, no touching, no touching.
We. She's at least 18 years old. I presume it's a she. We. How are you by any definition a child at 18?
You know what pisses me off even more? Children cannot consent to getting tattoos,
Yeah.
to getting piercings.
Yep.
But they can consent to this. Which one has a more temporary, like which one causes more temporary problems for the body? A tattoo is temporary, of course, but you can always get it laser removed. You cannot take estrogen or testosterone and then stop taking it and be back to normal. You cannot. You can see this with wrestlers who still suffer for taking testosterone.
Usually it's
Whatever they, steroids.
Usually it's growth hormone because that's the one that fucks up.
Still, it's something that fucks up your body internally.
Yeah.
And if a child can consent to that, but can't consent to a tattoo or a piercing, what the hell are we doing? What the hell are we doing, and where did we go wrong?
Yeah. Because
And yes, I am pro getting children to get tattoos.
they look cool as shit.
I'm joking.
I'm not, they look cool as shit.
They do, but they're still growing, so the skin is gonna mess up the tattoo. So wait for a tattoo, please.
We don't agree with it out of aesthetic reasons.
Exactly.
Not out of ethical reasons.
For legal reasons, this is a joke.
We can't consent to transition, but we can consent to being recorded without our consent.
What is your argument? We want to hear it.
Well, one, children are being... so you say children cannot consent to being put on puberty blockers.
That's right.
What are your opinions on the fact that in all of the laws prohibiting children from being put on puberty blockers, there are explicitly exceptions put in those laws about intersex children?
Yeah.
So you think that children can't be put on puberty blockers unless they're intersex?
No, that's not what I'm saying. Do you want to have a nuanced conversation here?
A lot of people are medically transitioning intersex children against their will at
First
birth.
of all, this has
Yeah,
nothing to do with
no.
kids.
Different conversation.
Do I get to
That's
speak?
an
Not.
anomaly.
It's-
Okay, you asked me
it
a
is.
question. Would you like an answer?
Yes.
This isn't about children born with disorders of sexual development. That's not why I'm here.
I love how he asked the question, and she immediately turned into Socrates by asking him a question to answer the question. Like, it's not that hard to answer a question and then ask your question. First of all, if you answer the question you're being asked, you're gonna get your point out much more clearly than just being like, okay, well, your point was this, and he says no. So let me ask you something about something different. First, answer the question. It's a debate. Like, it's a civil debate. Well, not anymore, but it should have been a civil debate.
I mean, it's still pretty civil. As far as the
Minus-
basic concerned, yeah.
Minus the Tianjin Han, Mr. Mime guy.
Yeah. At least he finally calmed down, so.
Eh, true.
He had a temper tantrum for a moment.
Those children make up 0.018% of the population. It's got nothing to do with what I'm talking about. I'm talking about children who don't have these conditions, who have been deceived to believe that they were born in the wrong body just because they don't conform to sexist regressive stereotypes.
Counterpoint, the same number of people who are intersex directly matches the...
This isn't about intersex. I'm not going to go along with these whataboutism
You
arguments.
just brought it up and you also...
I didn't bring it up. You guys
You
brought it
guys,
up.
she actually brought
I'm
it
not
up.
here to talk about
I am
intersex.
Pronouns are
speaking.
I'm not here
Everybody.
to engage in whataboutism. I'm here to talk about this issue. This issue isn't about intersex kids. First of all, what does it mean for these kids to be trans? Just because they don't conform to stereotypes? Just because a girl's a tomboy, she's now an actual boy? That's totally insane. The body positive message we should be sending is that there's no right way to be a boy or a girl.
What do you think about that? Do you agree?
I agree with that.
Don't you think, or do you think, that children, kids, we should make them wait till they're adults to make the decision of going through what he just talked about? Is that controversial of a stance?
I think it's controversial when you get to a point where parents want to control their kids. Like, essentially, you can say, like, yeah, children can't consent, but at the end of the day, a mom could say, it's my child.
Are they allowed to abuse their children?
Some people may not see it as abuse.
No, legally. I mean, are
Like, this is one of the biggest problems with child legislature and generally, like, people's looks on raising a child, or a lot of parents consider their children to be property until a certain age. Like property until they develop a sense of reason or something. But that's not how it is. Like, there's one thing to be like a mentor to your child. It's completely another thing to be an overseer.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna go back to what they were saying. So a child can consent to puberty blockers, right? No. That's what the other people were saying.
The other position, yeah.
Yeah. But when you're in high school, you cannot choose the career path you want because you're still too young. So what you're saying is you can make a long life decision that you cannot change back,
No.
but you can't make a long life decision that you can change at any moment.
Fun how that works, huh? Real fun how that
Some
works.
things don't make sense.
Fun how that works.
legally our parents, because it's their child, they're not allowed to do anything they want with their child. Is that correct?
We have to be honest about the reality of our life. Like, a lot of things aren't fair, right? Like, we can say, it's not a legal thing to do, it's abuse, right? But at the end of the day, there's some stuff that parents do that might not be right.
Right. And as a society, we do, legislate like morality when it comes to you can't beat your child, you can't murder people, you can't do all sorts of stuff, right?
But some stuff like this, it may be like some parents may be like, I agree with that, and some parents may be, it's my child.
If parents say it's okay, and so they get the puberty blockers, whatever they want, and then they decide later on that they regretted that. Is that your fear? Is that they're gonna decide that they made a mistake?
So
it's a good question.
My premise is that blocking puberty in children is child abuse. Parents do not have the right to abuse their children. They don't have the right to feed alcohol to their 10-year-olds, to start them smoking. They don't have the right to give them tattoos. But they have the right to now stop the healthy, normal physical development of a child who can't possibly understand what they're signing up for. That's child abuse.
What do you think about that? What do you think about what he's saying right there?
I disagree personally,
Okay,
but
and why is that?
With it, you disagree with this?
yeah.
Okay.
Do you mind if I ask why you disagree with what he just said right there?
I just feel like if if kids in general know inside of them that they don't conform with whatever, I feel like they should be able to make that decision for themselves and then face, if they regret it, if they decide that it's not, I feel like they should be able to face the repercussions of that later on.
Bold of her to presume the children know jack shit. Very bold of her to presume.
I mean, this is why I hate the modern age of the internet, because a lot of kids have been listening about certain topics that are still being researched on by TikTok experts who know jack shit, who just sell their propaganda. Like, I'm talking about both sides. I'm talking about both sides now. Like, I'm not specifically attacking one side. Kids are very impressionable because they don't know anything. And the moment they get like a 30-second video explaining something super complex that's taking years for people to really understand, and they get it in the format of 30 seconds with Subway Surfer gameplay in the background, they think they know shit. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. And it's heartbreaking that we do not allow kids to be kids anymore. The most important part of childhood is making stupid decisions that have a short-lasting consequence. This is not it. This is not it. Like, when you're a child, You are supposed to try to become more independent, yes, but at the same time, you're still being part of the system that is supposed to, and this is gonna sound so fucking horrible, that is supposed to mold you into an adult.
Yeah.
If you start doing this, it's like taking a 12-year-old child and giving them CEO privileges of a firm, and you're expecting that firm to function perfectly. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's a stupid comparison, I know, but kids are not supposed to make such decisions because they do not know anything about life. A child should be outside eating dirt or trash talking people on Fortnite, even though I hate that game. Like, that's what a child should be doing. They should be enjoying the life. They should be enjoying the freedom. And that's the beauty of childhood. You not making such important decisions about your life. That's what childhood should be. Of course, there are some kids that are thrown into the world and they have to mature way too early. But most kids, they just try to mature more quickly because that's the cool thing now.
Yeah.
Do you agree? I'm not sure if I'm making sense.
Yeah, I agree with you. Though, this is something I've been thinking about a lot these past few days, about a serious problem that the acceptance movement has. And I like to compare it to the old hedonist movement in ancient Greece, or the old hedonist school, especially the Kyrene school, which took the extreme position that feeling good is more important than something being good. But as you know from history, that position was debunked and thrown away rather quickly in ancient Greece because they found it to be rather childish. You should not indulge into everything just because it feels good. And I think that's a serious problem with the modern acceptance movement. They focus overly on, okay, does it feel good? Rather than, is it actually good? Will it be beneficial to me? What are the consequences? I think they focus so much on accepting it, it feeling good, that they don't even consider all the repercussions. They don't even consider analyzing and learning more about the problem.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree.
This is the most important thing, and I want us to slow down here. If children don't conform, is what you said, right? Beautiful.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. What's wrong with that?
Right.
My position is that there is no right way to be a boy or a girl.
Yeah.
I am a person with an intersex condition. What is my gender according to you if gender is what body you're born in?
Well, my expression is that there are two sexes, there are zero genders, and there are infinite personalities.
Like, it just caught me off guard, like, how he's taking the extreme position that gender doesn't exist. It kind of does, but not to, like, the extent a lot of people take it.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of understand him because I used to have that same position where if it's a social construct, then it means that it doesn't exist in nature.
Yeah.
Because it's a social construct.
Yeah.
It's not natural.
Yeah.
Therefore, talking about it makes no sense. But with the recent researchers...
I know, like, even the government is a social construct.
Yeah.
But it has repercussions.
That's why it shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
That's why it shouldn't exist.
Yeah. Like,
no, but I'm just trying to because I used to share the same point.
Yeah.
I used to share the same point until you do actual research and see that their gender does exist.
How it correlates with things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not to the extreme.
We're still discussing the extent.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have about
That captures the entire population.
and I have about 200 of them.
Now,
God bless.
you want to engage in this whataboutism. Every single child ever born with one of these disorders of sexual development is still male or female.
That's
not incorrect.
Oh, really?
Yes, according to a professor
According
here.
to a professor here.
Yes.
What's your opinion on the professionally developed gender dysphoria diagnosis in the DSM-5?
Yeah. So what does it say?
It
says that gender dysphoria starts with young children.
It actually.
And what's going on today with all these adolescents?
It
this
very
condition,
much does not. Have you read the DSM-5?
So if you ask me a question, would you like me to give the response, or would you just like to
I
tell
would
me
like
off?
you to respond with correct information.
Sure. So gender dysphoria is real. Traditionally, this affected 1 out of tens of thousands of children, not 1 out of tens like we see today. And it starts young. And when you look at all the academic
I would
studies,
just like to know where you're getting your studies from. Because you
I've got a whole bunch on my website if you want to go
We can
look.
send them to you after the conversation.
Sorry, you can't cite yourself as an academic source.
Not myself. There are academic studies on my website. They're from PubMed or
What
wherever.
academic studies?
Go look. It's billboardchris.com.
I don't go to your website.
And I do want to say,
I want proof. Sure, here you go. I don't want proof.
Dude.
All right.
It will make you a much better person if you look at the proof and then be like, okay, well, here's why it's wrong. Like, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. If you think someone is wrong, read their statistics, read their proof, and then try to find the inconsistencies in the proof. That's how simple it is. That's how simple it is.
That's the funny situation. Like, they're probably out here for a couple of hours. Like, he just told her where he's getting his source from his information. Everybody has internet on their phones now.
Yep.
You can just look it up, okay, read, okay, these are the points. You can find and build a counter argument from that.
Exactly. Like, I really do respect how they still are talking to them. The group that disagrees with the fathers. I respect how they are disagreeing with them. But I would respect them more if they looked at the statistics and looked at the facts that these people are showing and be like, okay, no, this is wrong because of this, and this. It's gonna make you look so much better for the internet. No one would make fun of you. And it will be a teachable moment for both sides. Simple as that. Simple as that.
hey, just on the subject of, do parents have the right to abuse their children? And certain people will look at this in different ways. But we have medical authorities now in Norway, Sweden, Finland, and England who have conducted systematic reviews of all of the evidence. Not politicians, these are the medical boards. And they found there is no evidence to support transitioning children. There's no evidence that it is improving their psychology or their happiness. It's really just causing irreversible harm.
Right.
So I know there's a debate about whether this is child abuse or not. I'm very confident in 10 years' time, we will all look back at this and say, what the heck were we doing to kids? Sterilizing children. They couldn't possibly understand what they're signing up for. So I firmly do believe that this is child abuse. And I do believe eventually even the medical bodies in America, which are pretty ideologically captured at the moment, that they'll do away with this.
Okay, so I agree that children shouldn't be allowed to take such actions. Once you become an adult, it's your life, go ahead. You're a developed human being who's part of society. You have every right. I really do believe that you have the right. If you want to transition, go ahead. But if you do it to a child, that is child abuse. That is child abuse. And it's scary to me how nowadays most people want you to agree with them just so you agree with them. Not because there's any kind of proof behind it. I'm sure we can find statistics that says, no, nothing's gonna happen to the children if they do that. I'm sure we can find such statistics and facts. That's why I'm calling them facts for both sides. But you should look at it this way. Do you, as a human being, believe that a child is able to make a crucial decision about their life and your life? Like, if you were in a do or die situation, would you listen to a child's idea?
I mean,
on a topic that they know nothing about?
Yeah, probably not.
Right? A child, like I said before, cannot make such a decision because they are still developing. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life before I went to university. I literally had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. And I'm just talking about professions. Imagine if I had to make a decision about my body, which even now, at 25, I know nothing about. Like, I literally know nothing about, well, I do some basic shit, but I have no idea how hormones work. I have no idea, like, what would the consequences be. So why should someone who knows even less than that be able to make a decision?
Funny how that works, huh?
But yeah, that's all I have to say about the video.
Wrap it up, because there's a lot more.
It is. The video is in the comment. It will be in the description, as always.
That's your opinions on it, because it's an interesting topic. It's a heated topic, to say the least.
Yep. Let us know what you think. Do you disagree with what we say? With what we said? Are we bigots? And as always, we'll see you next time.
Peace. Peace.